Right, so yeah, it's time for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and that was the shortest gap between videos I have ever done. But yeah, it's going to be a wet qualifying this time round. It's actually the first wet session of the season. I actually recorded up until the Singapore. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think there's only one more wet session. So yeah, I'm after 2 more videos. I think we're gonna start recording the F123 series already, but whatever. Yeah. Anyways, we're in our Q1 round, and we only get P2, which is a shame. And in our final Q1 run, you can see we're actually kind of being in Sebastian Vettel's dirty air. But we're just trying to get out of Q1. We're not trying to set a good lap or anything. Holy jeez, 27.6, very very good. Q1, very unexpected as well. And you can see there, Kevin Magnussen makes it. Joe on you, Gasly, Leclerc, Stroll, and Albon are out. You see Checo Perez in P8. Mick Schumacher has actually made it as well. So yeah, that's very interesting. And Carlos only 700ths of a second behind me. Anyway, it's time for Q2. I think we're using scrub tires for this run. Not trying to use the new ones or anything. And look at that, 1.8 behind, up on Mick Schumacher, so we're on a pretty good lap time, even though he's on a Haas. I don't really like the wet driving in F122. It's just too slippery. It feels like the car has been smothered in olive oil, lotion, and butter. That's how it feels like. It feels really weird. I prefer the wet driving on the older games. But anyways, you make it into Q3. And yeah, Alonso's into Q3, so very nice. Wet driving on F123 is much better as well. So, but yeah, anyways, we're on our first Q3 run, and it's going pretty well in this section. Just going through the Aramco sponsorship. Hi to the Hungarian fans watching the Hungarian Grand Prix. As yeah, our car is pretty stable here. We're not making too much errors. Oh, a correction right there. That's gonna cost us big time. Definitely. Going through the final corner now into third. And just slightly pressing on the throttle so that we won't spin. And a 27.1. Lewis Hamilton with provisional pole. That's not a good lap. Oh no. We're on the front row at least. And yeah, once we go into the pits, yeah, you can see, we are still in the front row. And I think we're the last ones to go out so that we could have a grippy track. And I'm just making very minimal mistakes throughout the lap. That's causing me time. No good, not good at all. Yeah, braking late isn't gonna do it. We're 1.3 tenths down. Lewis Hamilton sets another fastest. Carlos Sainz takes the front row away from us. 500ths now. Oh my days, we're on a bad run. Yeah, gained time there, but I think we sort of locked the brakes there. As Max Verstappen gets on the front row now, this is going magnificent as we run really wide. And I'm guessing Checo does not improve his time. And right here on the exit of this corner, we made a mistake. I flashed back, but it won't make any difference. Yeah, we're just gonna abandon the lap and come into the pits. So yeah, I think I also use scrub tires here. So scrub tire wet theory isn't actually real. No, it's actually just that my driving was not up to par on the second run. And yeah, we're not actually going to be starting P4 because Max and Carlos have grid penalties. Bottas in P10, he scored his first points at the French Grand Prix. Alonso in P8, that's a very good starting position. And yeah, let's see what will happen on the race day. God damn it.
Welcome to Budapest once again for another round of Formula One action. Historically, a good race for first-time victories, with Button, Hill, Alonso and Heikki Kovalainen all reaching the top step of the podium for the very first time right here. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around the lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position. and Maverick completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Perez, Fernando Alonso and Ricciardo, Bottas, Tsunoda, Verstappen and Kevin Magnussen, Sainz, Vettel, Mick Schumacher and Russell, Gasly, Stroll, Alex Albon and Esteban Ocon, Leclerc and Guan Yu Zhou. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Natalie Binkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
We need a good result today if we want to catch Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship.
Yes, copy that, Mark. And yeah, again, there's audio issues again, like in France. It's like there's two audio layers layering over each other. I think that's not persistent in the Dutch Grand Prix video, so yeah, it should be fixed by then. I'm trying to play around with the strategy, but I won't even commit to it anyway. So what's the point? Starting on the mediums, then going to the hard, an aggressive stint towards the end on the mediums again. I won't end up doing that because I just don't. Each time I go out with aggressive strategies, I never commit to them. I don't know why. Anyways, lining up on the front row, not in P4, thanks to the grid penalties given to Carlos and Carlos and Max. My bad. We all lined up. I lined up before Lewis. Yeah, got the tires properly heated up. Lewis starting on the soft, so he's gonna have a massive advantage as the lights go out, and it's gonna be. Wait for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Hungarian Grand Prix. I get a very poor start off the line. Lando Norris creeping around the outside of my Ferrari. Checo Perez goes for an optimistic move down the inside. Look at Kevin Magnussen in the background. Oh my days. Anyways, Checo actually kind of gets the move done, but we're gonna have to, get our elbows out a bit, pushing him slightly wide into the corner. I think that's turn 3, and Norris actually getting past him. So Perez loses. No, the top 5 remain the same actually. That's a bit of track limits for me. Norris actually had a pretty good start. Hamilton has a flying start because of the compound advantage. But yeah, Checo does get past Norris before the chicane. Alonso gets past Ricciardo. No, Ricciardo's trying to get past Alonso. My bad. Norris again on Checo. I think Checo's being pressured by Lando. We're kind of pulling away 7/10 already. As I say 7/10, it goes back to 5. But you can see in the background there's Sebastian Vettel. I think that's Yuki Tsunoda having a bit of battle. I love this view. And yeah, I think Yuki Tsunoda gets past Sebastian Vettel. Here we go. Lewis Hamilton has a 2.5 second lead at the end of the first lap. Oh my gosh, I think he's guaranteed the win already. But yeah, anyways, here's the onboard of Max Verstappen now trying to get past Sebastian Vettel. Will he get the move done? Yes, he will. He goes down into turn 1. He actually makes a double overtaking Tsunoda in the process as well. Oh, how did I pronounce process? I said process. No, it's process. But actually, Tsunoda's fighting back with that beautiful defense going to the corner. As right here, Tsunoda gets a better exit than Verstappen. Round the outside, now down the inside. Actually, yeah, now down the inside. Verstappen's gonna fight back down the inside, though, right before the chicane. And yep, he gets that position over Yuki Tsunoda. But that was pretty good defense that the Japanese driver put up. As we now move on to lap number 3 of Alexander Albon trying to get past his teammate and Guan Yu Zhou. As you can see, Guan Yu Zhou is actually get past Charles Leclerc. I am jumbling my words up right now, but Leclerc with that great defending right here. Leclerc gonna go down the inside, getting his elbows out. Joe maintaining it around the outside. No, Leclerc fully pushes Joe out of position. And now into P19, forcing him back, giving the chance to Alexander Albon to attack. This Albon goes down the inside of the Chinese driver, Guan Yu Zhou. It's an all-Asian battle right now. Zhou fights back, but Albon gets past round the outside of Guan Yu Zhou. Yeah, and here we go. Valtteri Bottas now on Kevin Magnussen. What's he gonna do? Guan Yu Zhou's teammate making moves after he fell off 2 positions. But here's Valtteri Bottas now going down the inside of Kevin Magnussen, who's on the soft tires, and his soft tires must have died out by now. And here's Max Verstappen following along as well. Valtteri Bottas just hanging it around the outside, and Max Verstappen going down the inside of Magnussen as well. Magnussen actually hang on to that position pretty decently, and now is he just going to lose it out to Max in this corner? Yes, he is. Verstappen did the same thing to Yuki Tsunoda a few laps ago and is now ahead of Kevin Magnussen. Yeah, pretty decent amount of midfield battles happening today. Verstappen trying to climb his way up the field after getting a penalty. And here's Lewis Hamilton now on lap 6. Coming into the pits, the soft tire is not a viable choice. As you can also see in the leaderboard that Magnussen dropped behind Tsunoda and Sebastian Vettel as well. That just shows how much the soft tire has fallen off a cliff. And you can see just me in the distance right there getting past the Mercedes driver who's in the pit lane now, changing over to the medium compounded tires. So he's going for an SMM strategy, and we'll see how's that gonna play out, because in the previous video, the French Grand Prix, my medium tires lasted pretty quickly. Maybe it's just my poor tire management. You know, Lewis Hamilton, a pretty good tire whisperer in real life. And you can see in the distance there, Mick Schumacher getting overtaken by Alex Albon. No, it's Charles Leclerc. Actually, yeah, it's Alex Albon. Charles Leclerc gets past Lewis Hamilton going into turn 3. Lewis Hamilton's actually holding on to position right here. Pretty nicely done. Charles Leclerc trying to put out his elbows. Leclerc actually gets past Hamilton right here. Is he going to get fully ahead of Hamilton though? Hamilton round the outside, carrying a lot of speed. No. Lewis Hamilton on fresh cold tires, not properly heated yet, is struggling against the Monegasque driver as he goes down the inside into the chicane, finally getting ahead of Charles Leclerc. They're no longer alongside each other. So yeah, that's pretty. That's Lewis Hamilton escaping that. And yeah, here we go. We're now following me and Checo Perez, and this is the point where I'm contemplating whether to stick with the medium strategy and probably just try and extend the hard for a longer time. But I decided not to. And here we go. Here's Checo Perez trying to catch up to me. Hungary, you can't really overtake anywhere else apart from Sector 1 and Sector 3. And yeah, it's just, I think Checo is just way too far behind. You have to be about 3/10 to overtake someone in Hungary. And you also obviously need DRS unless you can pull off an optimistic move in some bits of Sector 3. I mean, in the middle sector. Other than that, there's just not a lot of space to overtake. There's a bit of track limits. Thank God I'm on normal. I'm a track limits merchant. And here's Checo Perez now, not being able to get past me. And here's Lewis Hamilton trying to get past his former rival. Oh, I thought that was Sebastian Vettel. My bad. That's Lance Stroll actually. He has DRS on Stroll. Will Stroll defend? Stroll is barely defending, but Lewis is not gaining that much on Lance, and he makes a pretty easy move down into turn 1, and he'll have DRS to further spread himself away from Lance Stroll. And now going on to lap number 9, further on in the lap, here's George Russell trying to get past Sebastian Vettel here. What can Vettel do? You can see his teammate Lewis Hamilton just in the distance as George Russell goes down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. Decent move, but Sebastian Vettel now going on the outside. Russell has DRS, but it's barely effective, probably because Sebastian Vettel has ERS. As Russell goes around the outside, Sebastian Vettel putting on his elbows. George Russell goes back down the inside, using his elbows this time. It's a back and forth. They're still alongside. And here's Pierre Gasly getting past George Russell. And there's Lewis Hamilton just creeping behind in the distance. Russell gets past back ahead of Gasly. Lewis Hamilton goes down the inside of Gasly into the chicane. And now he has sights on George Russell and Sebastian Vettel ahead of him. And yeah, that Pride helmet looks great on Lewis. I think it looks better than the plain one. The plain one's just too plain for me. Anyways, going on now to lap number 10. Just later in the lap, I'm back on my onboard. And it's now time for me to head into the pits to switch over to the medium tires. I've given up on the hard strategy, mainly because there's no point having a more aggressive strategy to the end. And it will show that later that was the right call. As we move on to the medium tires, I think we're the only one who pits this lap. Tsunoda gets ahead. I think Sebastian Vettel's coming soon. And there's George Russell and Lewis Hamilton going by. And it looks like Russell makes a move down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. They make contact with the side pod and Russell's rear wheels. Wow, Russell not having a great race after the French Grand Prix. As Lewis Hamilton goes around the outside of Sebastian Vettel, not quite. Sebastian Vettel is putting up a great fight against the two Mercedes drivers. But yeah, Lewis is just a sitting duck in this. He's really just having a fight with George Russell. As Lewis Hamilton finally gets past his teammate. I would love to think that there's team orders in this game. Sadly, there isn't. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton gets ahead of George Russell, and that ends that whole battle. As here's Sebastian Vettel not coming to the pit. I thought he was going to the pits. Never mind. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton is going to overtake Sebastian Vettel. Here's Daniel Ricciardo right here, exiting the pit lane. He's going to come out behind me, and Sergio Perez extending his stint pretty long on the medium compound tires. So yeah, I think I pit quite early, but that was just to get the undercut successful on Perez and Ricciardo and Lando Norris, as Ricciardo actually comes out ahead of his teammate Lando Norris, as we're in the onboard of Alexander Albon right now. And here's my onboard chasing down Pierre Gasly here on lap number 12 of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Not that much traffic limits this time. We haven't seen my onboard in a minute. Oh my days. But yeah, we're catching up pretty quickly to Gasly. As as you can see, they're still on the medium tires because they start on the medium tires, and I pitted quite early for the mediums. And if you look at the MFD, there's actually a warning for the engine. That means I should change my one of the components soon for the next Grand Prix. But anyways, here's the move round the outside of the AlphaTauri there, right at the first corner of Sector 3. And here's Checo Perez coming in for his stop onto the yellow wall medium tires. And Sebastian Vettel's finally coming in after Lewis Hamilton's got past him. And we won't have DRS because I don't think we were a second behind Vettel in the detection zone. And here we go. Perez exits the pit right ahead or right behind Lando Norris, and has lost 2 positions because of the undercut. But he's just gonna get those back because he has so much fresher tires than both of us, and all of us actually. What do you mean both of us? As yeah, Ricciardo. If there was team orders, Ricciardo would have given Norris DRS. Let's be real. As Perez goes down the inside into turn 1, easy peasy, easier said than done. Actually, no, it's easier done than said. That was like a Red Bull versus a McLaren. That's the easiest thing ever. And yeah, here's Verstappen's on board actually. A replay from earlier, overtaking Carlos Sainz, having a little battle with my teammate as they make a bit of contact to the side pod. No biggie, just hard racing. That isn't dirty from either of them. And here's Carlos, putting his elbows out, having a fight with a Red Bull. And Verstappen gets ahead pretty easily of Carlos Sainz, and he had a pretty intense battle with the AlphaTauris earlier, one of those. Anyways, here's Checo now overtaking Ricciardo, back for the podium positions after being undercutted. So this should be a pretty simple move, but not quite, because it's going to be a DRS train. Ricciardo's DRS open, Perez's DRS open. Going into turn 1, not much happening right here. You can see Lando Norris actually catching up a bit. He's only 1.4 behind the pack now. Sooner or later, he's going to get into the DRS train as well. As we're going to switch over to this dual on board. Maybe I've been doing this quite a lot in this series, haven't I? But yeah, you can see that's the distance between me and Checo, which is actually quite far. I don't think if Ricciardo were to go out of this mix, then Perez, I think he'll have DRS, but he won't be close enough at all. But he's overtaken Daniel Ricciardo. He's given a shot at it. Ricciardo has gone out of DRS range from my Ferrari. Now Lando Norris has caught up to them. And yeah, Checo Perez has got ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Wow, okay, the McLaren driver was seeming to control the pace a bit, and then Perez, yeah, he's gotten past him. And I'm safer now because Checo still got fresher tires. But anyways, here's Verstappen outside of Alonso. Verstappen crossing the pit white lines a bit. But Alonso, I'm pretty sure he was behind Verstappen in the detection point. So he has DRS. He's gonna go back on Max, get his position back, and yes, he does. Fernando Alonso going down into turn 1 ahead of Max Verstappen. He has DRS, so he's gonna get ahead of Verstappen. But Verstappen actually fighting back. That's probably ERS. That's probably him using his battery. But nope, no. Alonso going back behind. And there he is. Verstappen getting past Alonso successfully. He's having a better race than Carlos, isn't he? Carlos wasn't really defending when Verstappen was behind him earlier. And here's Lewis Hamilton going for his last and final stop of the race. That's pretty early. There's still 17 laps of the race yet. It's only half the race distance. But he's coming in the pits to use tires that will last him to the end of the race. He's going on to the hard tires. And yeah, okay, so that's half of the race distance. But a safety car gets deployed. There's an AlphaTauri parked by the road over there. And there's George Russell out as of the race as well. Just as Lewis Hamilton pits, his teammate, I think it's a power unit issue, is out of the Hungarian Grand Prix. And here's the onboard footage of Russell. The engine just switches off. I forgot to get the footage of the AlphaTauri. I don't even know who it was, and it's been like, what, 5 months since I've recorded this. So George Russell is out of the Hungarian Grand Prix, while his teammate, Lewis Hamilton, came into the pits. So yeah, there's still gonna be some questions whether or not I will end up ahead or behind of Lewis Hamilton, because since there's a safety car, Lewis's pace is controlled, so he's not gonna go as fast as he would without a safety car. So we might end up ahead of Lewis. So let's just wait and see as we enter the pits. Locking up a bit doesn't really matter. The tires are gonna come off the car anyways. We're gonna switch to the white wall hard compound tires. We're not gonna be held up that much, I think, just slightly. As thank you, Ricciardo. And here we go. Verstappen comes out. Lewis Hamilton. Oh, it's really close, but Lewis Hamilton just about exits the pits ahead of me. And there are still some drivers who are yet to pit. I think Alonso, Verstappen, Bottas, and Sainz are them. And you can look up behind. Magnussen, who is 35 seconds behind Lando Norris, is not coming to the pit. Same with Ocon, Schumacher, Leclerc, Zhou Guanyu, Lance Stroll, Gasly, Albon, Vettel. And yeah, they're still not coming into the pits yet. I wonder why they're not doing that. That's a bit dumb. Here we go. So Sainz, and I'm guessing that's Alonso, comes into the pit at lap 20. And I think so are the other few guys behind, or they have already pitted, because otherwise they wouldn't be that close, or they're doing the one stop. Very interesting scenario right now. We are directly behind Lewis Hamilton now, but he's directly behind Valtteri Bottas, who's behind Max Verstappen, so we don't exactly have a clear look going into turn 1 at the safety car restart. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this pans out, because Valtteri Bottas is much slower. Like not Bottas, but the Alfa Romeo is much slower than the Mercedes. So it's either going to be Lewis flies by or Bottas puts up some extreme defense, as Hungary is a very tight circuit as well. So here we go, all bunching up for the safety car restart on lap 21 of the Hungarian Grand Prix, which has been a pretty eventful Grand Prix, I must say. I think this is the first safety car we've had since Canada, so that's saying something. Anyways, Time for the safety car restart. Here's Max Verstappen crossing, not crossing, going through the final corner. We get a pretty bad launch on the restart. So we're not going to get anywhere near close to Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. But what can Hamilton do with Bottas into turn 1? Nothing. But here's Sergio Perez going down the inside of my Ferrari into turn 1. Almost completing it, but I think he gets a better exit, or it's just his battery usage. No, but we get ahead of him. And there's Valtteri Bottas covering up Lewis Hamilton, which is good because we're now able to catch up, but just running slightly wide. Perez finds an opening round my outside. Can we do it? No, we're gonna use our elbows, force him slightly wide over there, and that's gonna keep us in P4. That's good defending. That's clean defending. And here's Hamilton going on the inside of Valtteri Bottas, now round the outside. Bottas defending for all his life in that Alfa Romeo, which he has to pit, so I don't get why he's defending anyways. And yeah, Lewis Hamilton goes down the inside here, and that's pretty much seals the deal. No, they're still side-by-side. Look at that, 3 wide behind the 2 McLarens and the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. Very interesting stuff. We lose the back end slightly, but Lewis Hamilton is now long gone. There's an Alfa Romeo splitting the both of us. And you can see Verstappen and Bottas going into the pits. So now it's just me and Lewis's race. I'm just kidding, I don't think I'll even catch up to him at all. So yeah, really eventful restart as Lewis Hamilton is now a second out of my reach, and there's no way I'm gonna reach him. We're gonna have to drain our battery for the rest of the race for that. And look at that, Perez and Norris having a bit of a battle behind there. But anyways, here's Kevin Magnussen behind the 2 McLarens. We're gonna see how it was 3 wide. Well, I don't think he was really involved in that 3 wide moment. I think it was just that angle where I saw it from that made it look like he was involved being 3 wide with the McLarens. But yeah, he's pretty close. I think he's trying to go to the end of the race on the hard compound tires. And yeah, also I'm not sure if he was in the pits earlier. I'm not going to check and I'm not going to bother. And up ahead you can see there Lando Norris going down the inside of his teammate in the McLaren and almost overtaking Perez. Actually, I think this is actually what happened before I cut to the replay cams. But I don't think he's going to get past Perez. Perez has the better car. Perez is not the better driver though. I'm joking. Perez is on some days. But here's Carlos Sainz with Alex Albon and Zhou Guanyu. It's been a pretty disappointing race, hasn't it been, Carlos? Yeah, at least you're not ending up like Bottas, who's P17. Carlos goes down the inside of Alex Albon. And, will Alex Albon defend? Yes, it's been the trend. As long as you're on the outside here, never mind. Carlos gets past this time. Which, yeah, Carlos not really having the best of races here in Hungary. His best performance this season was definitely in Australia, which, oh my days, I actually uploaded that video way back in November of 2022. And now we're in January of 2024. I can't believe I'm still continuing this, but you know, the grind goes on. I kind of want to as well. But yeah, he gets past Zhou Guanyu, no issue. And now it's time for him to get past Alonso and Charles Leclerc, who's they're having a little battle at the moment. Here's Alonso going down the inside of Charles. Gets it. Oh, Leclerc gets a better run on the exit, but Alonso gets DRS going into the corner. Yes, he does. Alonso going round the outside of Leclerc right now. Leclerc not really defending. And Alonso backs Leclerc into Carlos Sainz. And it's now Carlos' turn to get past Leclerc. No, he won't right now. Later on he does. Actually, they're not former teammates because I replaced Leclerc in F1 2021. I'm continuing over my 2021 save. It's whatever. But here's the 2 McLarens battling, Ricciardo and Norris. Ricciardo goes down the inside of turn 1. That's pretty much the only overtaking point here. Down the inside of turn 1. You get an overtake. Oprah Winfrey moment. Oh no. Norris gets past Ricciardo. Okay. And here's Norris now. No, that's actually Ricciardo. Wait, I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I am right now. I'm in an altered dimension. But here's Norris getting past Ricciardo. I think Ricciardo actually finishes ahead of Norris anyways. And Yeah, here's me and Hamilton. Yeah, you can see there in the mini-map. Ricardo, never mind, Norris is past Ricardo. We're too far behind to make an attack on Lewis. We were just trundling around in P2. We are in DRS range, but we just don't have enough battery to close up. But it's gonna be a P2, which from quality yesterday I can't really complain. So P2 is not that bad.
Get in there, let's go, boys! Oh god, that's so good. Thanks so much for the hard work, guys.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Natalie Bingham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach to the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners. So let's review.
So like I said, I can't really complain with a podium. I expected to probably finish P4 considering my terrible quality performance. Let's see the finishers on the podium. I mean the points. Zhou Guanyu 5 seconds away from finishing P10. Alonso drops from P5 to P8 because, oh my gosh, look at that. 2 Haas's in the middle of him. And Daniel Ricciardo, Norris loses his podium grid spot. Yes, tough luck for him, I mean. Nothing much to say other than that was total domination from Lewis Hamilton. If he was on a regular strategy, he probably would have had the Grand Slam. So yeah, just gonna have to save this replay so I won't lose the footage. Oh wait, why am I doing that? Yeah, why am I doing that? Wait a minute, let's check that date again. 27th of August last year is wild, because today is the 2nd of January, and the first video uploaded was on September of 2022. Oh my gosh, why do I still do this? Oh my, why have I delayed everything for so long? I should be doing F123 stuff by now. Yeah, let's just check out the championship standings. Ooh, we're now a race win and fastest lap behind Lewis Hamilton. That ain't good. That ain't good. Well, there's 4 races remaining. There's Zandvoort. Oh, look, Mercedes overtake Ferrari. But yeah, there's Zandvoort, there's Monza, there's Singapore, there's Austin, and there's Abu Dhabi. I have 2 more to record, so I've done Singapore already. So I need to edit 5 more videos. And can I get them out before February, or at least by February? I think so. And then we can begin F123 career mode in mid-Feb. Yeah, I should be able to do that. The grind won't stop, lads. The grind. It's always about the grind. Anyways, that's the end of this video. The next video is the Dutch Grand Prix. And I'll see you then, or if I decide to upload something else.